And we are live, all right. Here we are. Hello, everyone. Warm welcome to all at MES Senior Devils NCR. This is Delvin, and today I have Abhishek Bhai with me, I have Ojas Bhai with me, I have Abhijit Bhai with me, and I have Paritosh Bhai with me. So, Assalamu alaikum, Habibis. Hope everyone's doing well and all are at the best of health. Mashallah, what a day it has been, and it's been absolutely amazing. The news that has come on show that some Habibis from Qatar are interested in buying us, and yes, there it is, Paritosh by bringing out his Middle Eastern version to the public. We are all in for that. But very important day otherwise also, apart from the news that surrounding the ownership, it's a very important game for us. It's the Battle of the Roses. It's one of the biggest rivalries of Manchester United in the past. It's United versus Leeds at Old Trafford, and any game against Leeds is not a game that we can take lightly, irrespective of the fact that they are dangerously hanging to the precipices of the bottom half of the table, and so nothing can be taken for granted when Leeds are concerned. Such is the momentousness of this rivalry. Such is the historical undertones of this rivalry, which has been going on not only for decades as far as the footballing landscape is concerned. It's a rivalry that has been going on for centuries, and it has been the bedrock of British history in the past as well. So when these two sides meet, it's not only a clash of football, it's a clash of ideologies, it's a clash of philosophies. It's basically a clash of two former dynasties who want to establish their supremacy over each other. And so a lot rides on this game, and a lot rides on this game from a footballing perspective as well. So, Abhishek, I'm going to ask you, entering this game, how are you feeling? What is your mindset? And how highly do you fancy United coming up trumps in this Battle of the Roses? Because this is a very long-standing rivalry, and the last time when this match happened in front of a packed audience, it felt like this rivalry had not gone anywhere. You could literally feel the rivalry in the new generation of players as well. In spite of the fact that we hadn't played each other in the Premier League for almost 2 decades, and yet the fierceness, the feistiness of that rivalry was still there. So entering this game, how do you feel, your mind space, and what are your thoughts, your pre-match thoughts
Yeah,
about this game?
we've seen this, in past like a couple of seasons that even when every time we would be playing Leeds, it will not be, normally matches would be like, okay, there is uh, something we wait, team would see it like mostly teams at bottom, they would be playing low blocks, and teams that are top, they would be trying to explore the option. But with Leeds, it's not the case. That match is always live wire. You'll always, seeing chances getting created, chances being missed, goals being, or it's been like that match is complete fascination for a even for neutral fans and even for us fans as well. For this match, Leeds not having proper manager, I see there could be chance that they would be dogmatic in their approach, but more or less I see an entertaining match for this. And the balance on which this match is being held, the teams above us and around us dropping points, and United having a chance to give it a shout. I'm not saying that we are in conversations, but yeah, giving it a shout that okay, we will keep pushing it, but United being relentless should be the motto for this game, I believe.
So you're entering this, you're approaching this match with a very positive mindset, and with the feeling that while it is going to be an entertaining game, United should have enough in their bag to make sure that they emerge from this game relatively unscathed and with all the 3 points come the end of the game. I echo with your sentiments. It is a very realistic assumption to take, considering the utter turmoil that Leeds have been in the past, in the
Yeah,
post World Cup break. In fact,
we'll be having this match as OT as well. That will be like even
exactly,
with a
precisely,
few of our
precisely.
players not being available, but still I think we'll make loud noise and have them on the back foot from start itself. That's what I believe to be.
Precisely. Like Amit Bhai says, at the end, the 3 points do matter. And yes, at this stage of the season, every 3 points are like gold dust. I mean, I know it's only 21 games into the season, but it already gives you a feeling like any point lost from here is not just 1 point lost, it's equal to 3 or 4 points lost at the same time, especially with the rest of the sides hot on our heels and we hot on the heels of the other sides as well. uh, Paritosh bhai, when we speak about United and Leeds, there are a host of factors that this game is remembered by. Got to Cantona, then Alan Smith, Rio Ferdinand, and the
Rio Ferdinand.
the iconic matches that have happened between these two sides in the past. Uh, this time, though, it's two teams entering this fixtures with entirely contrasting mindsets. Whereas, even if you take last season's fixtures, for example, Leeds were coming off of a season where they finished ninth right after promotion. They were on cloud nine. It was the opening. It was the opening fixture of the Premier League. The atmosphere on both sides was palpable. We had made a bunch of new signings. They were hot on their heels of a renewed sense of optimism, where they could put in a prolonged challenge at the top half of the table. But this time around, it's entirely different. It's United who are on the crest of a wave, and Leeds United just hanging on for dear life. Do you think that these contrasting mindsets will have a big role to play in the way both teams approach their games? Because we've always associated Leeds, in spite of the fact that they have always, in the last few months or so, they've always been at the bottom. It's always been that Leeds are going to be relentless in their approach. They're going to approach this game just like any other game, and they're going to give them the 100% as far as the pressing intensity and everything is concerned. But do you think that with the negativity surrounding them, with turmoil in their managerial ranks, especially with now Jesse Marsh being sacked, do you think that this could have a bearing on the way they approach their game? And would you see a change in the way that they will approach this game, considering the fact that they would want to leave Old Trafford with at least a point? They would not. I think at this point, a loss would more or less start a free fall from here on. It would be a tough job for any manager to get them out of this if they lose here.
Yeah, definitely. For me, my initial thought is that Leeds are going to lose this game. And I say this very, I don't think I've said this very often that I think United are going to win because I'm very not very optimistic of United for the past few years. I'm always on the other end of the optimism. I'm always pessimistic because the form that Manchester United have goes away in a flash. We have seen this in the past few years as well. So, but this particular game looks completely different, and that is because of the fact that Leeds are struggling and struggling in how they ever since they have parted ways with Bielsa. Although Marsh was able to stabilize things for a bit, Leeds have never been able to look like a side who has an ideology which they can stick by. They were looking to stick to an ideology which Bielsa had, but Bielsa had, I think, too many things pulling him back from the modern game, and that's why Leeds had to let him go. For the same fact, Marsh has been let go because the form has not been that great. Although there are players who have made an impact for Leeds, but I think Phillips leaving, I think that was the key factor because he was one thing that was gluing this Leeds side together. When he got injured, then he left for City, and Leeds never looked the side without Phillips. So I think Leeds are in a very tough position, although they would want to have a point at Old Trafford. But United are playing too good football for them to lose a point to this particular Leeds side. Any other Leeds side, I would have had my questions, but I think United are going to win. I'm not that. Uh, this might backfire, but I'm not that scared of Leeds at the moment.
I mean, interesting that you say that they have no identity in spite of the shit season that Leeds have been having. They've managed to beat Chelsea and they've managed to beat Liverpool in this very season itself. Goes to see how crazy the Premier League is, where a side who's managed to beat two
But
of
Chelsea and Liverpool are also have a terrible season, no?
no,
They
but
are
they
not a
beat
side
they
to go by example in
so
this particular season.
the so Chelsea lost to Leeds under Tuchel, not under Graham Potter. So it was at the start of the season. Liverpool, you could say so. Liverpool up to a certain point, yes, but you did not expect Leeds to go and beat Chelsea 3-0.
But
So that's it's pretty it so you know that it is a very it's a roller coaster that you cannot rest on your laurels in spite of no matter the teams that you beat in front of you. and that is what has happened as far as Leeds and Jesse Marsh is concerned. So Abhijit, we're coming to you. Uh, Obviously you can see that Leeds are struggling very badly. They do not they pride themselves on playing on the counter, but for some reason or the other they cannot stop counter attacks, which is a very very strange way to put things, considering that Leeds do enjoy and do have the system where they can attack in pace, and they have the personnel also to defend counter attacks. But for some reason, or for the other, or for God's green earth, you don't know, they just are not able to stop the counter attacks when it comes to them. Do you think that there is any particular reason where you see that, or is it down to lapses in concentration, or do you think that the system is just flawed in its execution when it comes to defending transitions? Because they do have the personnel. If you see their squad, they have Aronson, they have Tyler Adams, and they have added Weston McKinney. So that's basically the entire US midfield, which plays internationally together. So they have the chemistry, they have the forward power as well. With the likes of Wilfred Nyonto, then even Rodrigo for that matter. They have pretty good players in there, but that philosophy isn't just gelling in. Is there any particular reason that you can pinpoint for that?
So, just to add some points after Paritosh Band, I will answer your question too. Uh, See, whenever there is a manager change in a team, the team has bounced back. You look at Aston Villa, they bounced back us with 4-2 win against us. You look at Everton versus Arsenal, they defeated them. Even I think Southampton, after Ralph Hasenhüttl was sacked, they even bounced back. They sought a win against Manchester City. So I think we should not take it as an easy game for us. Okay, we know they are struggling, but the caretaker manager knows us far more, and he has taken 6 months from us as an experience as a assistant manager. So he knows United players. Uh, Leeds United, I think they need some signings. I think they lack their uh, some players. The Rafinha, you say, as you say, Phillips. Yes, they are the some players they missed out. They don't have that form of Rodrigo, or you can say their Bamford. I think he's also the player who, and even Jack Harrison. I think the players are lacking their form. So they are really struggling for that. The forms and some injuries too. But as a United perspective, I should not take it as easy game, because when a manager is sacked, there is some space for mental space, that you are in a free and you are here to express something here. So okay, we have seen in the past that we have won the game 5-1 last year, and also at a tail end round we have won it 4-2. But okay, we will take it as an easy, one game by game. We are in a hot form. We missed Casemiro here, but looking at the injecting some players, new players, Abitzer and Diego Dalot, it will be a good game for us. Just to have been optimism for that, we will have a good game.
Uh, Ojas bhai, we've spoken about Leeds. I think there is. I don't think I see any other point where we can, speak about Leeds or elaborate about their fortunes, because, put it plain and simple, Leeds have been shit for vast majorities of the season, with a smattering of good performances in between. So let's talk about our side. Abhijit bhai said that we're going to miss Casemiro, and in the game that where Casemiro did get the yellow and where Casemiro got the red, and in the game against Arsenal where Casemiro did not play, you could see that there was a little bit of a hiccup in the immediate aftermath of the incident. For example, if we take the Crystal Palace game, the entire 10 minutes were spent in United just holding on for dear life for that one goal cushion. And a similar pattern emerged when Casemiro got sent off in the game against Crystal Palace as well, where for the next 7 to 8 minutes, United just did not know what hit them. and they were all at sixes and sevens, and then duly taking advantage of the fact and the numerical superiority that was on offer, Palace rightly scored, and they deserved that goal. In all fairness, if you go to see with the amount of pressure and with the wave after wave of attacks that they had, so do you think that Casemiro's absence in this game, mind you, each game from here is going to be pivotal. No matter the strength of the side, no matter the difficulty of the fixture, every game is going to be very, very pivotal from here on. No matter if it is a struggling team like Leeds or even a struggling team like Southampton, each game is going to have equal significance for us. Do you think Casemiro's absence will have a huge role to play, or do you think that it is going to be an issue, or it's not going to be much of an issue? Because, like Paritosh Bhai said, he's not worried for once about United losing to Leeds. Do you echo his sentiment, or do you feel like Casemiro's absence will have a role to play here?
Uh, See, Casemiro is very important to us in the midfield, that is for certain. And although lead side is, I should say, not in the right uh, way of the things, but some way or other, it's Premier League. I just love Premier League. Anything can happen in this league, and anything has happened in this league. So it is for me. See, on the practical side, you can say that Leeds are nowhere close to Manchester United on the quality on the sheet, even if we are without Casemiro, because United are just too good right now. You just, and especially at Old Trafford, like the guys were mentioning, uh, I don't I, I don't see Leeds being a big problem here. But the Casemiro thing, what usually I have witnessed is, except for Arsenal, we were playing good at Arsenal. We were not bad, except for certain moments. It is usually the cards that we get in between the game that affect us. Like the free kick was too good to be kept out for me. That was a great equalizer. But what I see is when the Casemiro got red carded and we were on 10 men, still there could have been some defensive setup to control it. But we were just too, I should say, monotonous with what we were doing at the back. We were just trying to clear everything. We were just not trying to take the control of the game, and that affected us. See, Casemiro is not God. He will not be there every time. There will be moments in the season where he will be out.
That was yeah, or just that was even I felt that our players have good mentality. They're not having champions mentality yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so even with, if you'll see that teams, let's say, that's bad example to take, but if you'll see, City getting to 10 men, they would be still dominating the game. And we at times, if we would be going on that later half of the game and we have to save our lead, it will be like always, it will be we'd be susceptible over there. So that has been something we have to improve yet. Yeah, just please continue.
Yeah,
I'd like to play
I
the devil's advocate here. I'd say that we are being too harsh on the team. I'd say that given the time that Eric Ten Hag has had with this team, that is 6 months, 7 month period,
No, no,
I think they
Paritosh,
have done
for the
fairly
time being,
enough.
what you are saying, I absolutely agree with you. I did not say that it should be put on ETH. Okay, I'm saying I'm putting it on team. I'm not putting it on ETH. I'm saying for this
No,
team,
even
these
the
guys
team,
have been playing
even
together.
the team, I think at least a season or two is required to build that kind of mentality. They'll be dominating teams even with 10 men. I don't think, because this okay, one thing is for sure, that we are going to have matches where we think we should have won this and we'll get away with the point, and these games should and would come, because that this is the kind of season that we are in a transition season. If this happens the next season, then there are problems,
Yeah,
because
that
then
my point
we'll be
is.
expected to be serious challenges. That's what my questioning is right
Yeah, what my point is that even when I'm not saying that there would be games, where we would be back foot and we'll just take away 1 point or maybe 3 point. I'm not talking about those games. I'm talking about games, where we dominate, where we being good for good 65, 70 odd minutes, and then something happens in between, and then all of a sudden we just get into shells. So it is like, okay, that second yellow of, let's say, Casemiro, it was the whole aura of the team has changed. The red card of Casemiro, the whole, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about, games where we would be okay. I understand there would be games where whole team would not be glued together and they might not approach in a way where they would be taking 3 points from there. I understand those would be, days, but I'm talking about days where we are playing good. We've been good for 45 minutes, 50, 65 minutes, and then something happens in between in the game, and then somebody has to hold it from the collar and drag that game away. So that part I'm saying that we need, what they say, mentality monsters. I totally agree with you that ETH is making them, but these players collectively have been playing for almost 3 to 4 years now.
For me, I'd just like to finish this here. For me, I think it's unfair on the players to expect them to straight away go and dominate for 90 minutes week in, week out, every game. They have played good football for 90 minutes, but I think for me, I have this acceptance that there'll be games where we'll play for 30 minutes, we'll play good football, and these kinds of games has happened. Even I think against Man City, we didn't dominate the whole game, but there was a very good patch and we won the game. Uh, and these are the kind of games that are going to happen. Arsenal, we were very good for 45
Correct.
minutes, then we were shocking for the last 20-30 minutes. So I think that is what is going to happen. For me, I have this acceptance. Maybe some fans or you guys have different expectations. I just don't expect that much because I know by the end of the term there are going to be some kind of expectations that are not going to be met.
Yeah, fair enough. But to the team's credit, after that 7 or 8 minutes where it felt like everything was harakiri, we managed to dust ourselves and get through the line. And you could see that that
I
mentality
am so
was there.
sorry. Ojas Bhai's comments were nullified
Yeah,
because
yeah. Ojas
there
bhai,
was a
yeah,
whole
please,
back
please,
and
please.
forth.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
sorry, sir.
no,
Ojas
no,
bhai, you can continue. You
it's
can continue.
it's all right. I was just enjoying the debate between Paritosh Bhai and Abhishar Bhai. But what my point was and what point they were arguing on, that there will be games where Varane would get red carded. There will be games where Lisandro Martinez can get red carded. It is very important to just get together and just be composed that shit
Yeah,
happens, but we have to get through this. And I remember one interview of Jose Mourinho when he was in the last season of Chelsea, was about to get sacked. And what was happening with Chelsea, they were getting a red card booking every 2 3 games. And he said that I specifically trained my team to play with 10 and 9 men against 11 because this is the type of setup you have to build. And right now, what I was disappointed is, I won't debate on it. What I was disappointed, although Casemiro is the leader of the midfield, but red card is part of football. Injuries are part of football. And I know we cannot expect our team to play good for 90 minutes. I just want someone to just stand up and say, okay, shit happens. Let's get together and work this out. That is what I thought
yeah,
happened with against Crystal Palace, and that is what I thought was lacking against Arsenal because we were just playing to them, and we just couldn't, keep the pressure, keep the quality through and throughout. This is what I meant.
So,
like
Ojas bhai, yeah, yeah,
maybe.
yeah, go, go, go.
Yeah, yeah, maybe I'm not saying that you need to dominate. You still need to dominate game. I say that we cannot do, every time with 10 men or anything as such. If happens, we cannot dominate with 10 men. But I'm saying about, taking control of game as it has been happening. It's like that. So like we could see that, okay, the players are looking a bit timid if anything as such happens, and it the aura of the team changes. Though Casemiro and Varane and Bruno, they are like good. They their vibes matches with all the players and they change the aura. But yeah, something that has to come on that aspect.
Yeah, totally agree. So, like Oris Bhai said, where Jose Mourinho was training his players to play 9 against 11 or say 10 against 11. My question to the panel: do you think that Ten Hag is training his players to play 11 versus 12? Considering the 11 versus 13, considering the fact that the refs and VAR are always against us in every game. Do you think somewhere down the line, Ten Hag is making his coaching staff act like the refs, the shady refs and the shady VAR, give shit calls on both sides, and make them hardened to the fact that this is going to happen every game? You might as well dust off your socks and move on, because this is going to happen every single game. So might as well get ready for it.
Delvin, there was one series. If there is a cricket fan on this panel, there was a series against Australia where we were very lucky to have Steve Buckner as the umpire of the series.
Yes.
And I remember every decision going against India. It was a cricket series, test match series going on, and I saw something in the last test match that I guess we won that because I believe that once the referee or the umpire starts making bad decisions, automatically the essence of the competition, the quality of the competition starts falling down. And Premier League won't take that risk. Someday or other, if United games are getting affected by poor refereeing and the standards are falling for the game, for the viewers, it will come into the question. Sooner or later, it will come into the question.
Same thing happened, VAR being VAR has been introduced on such a aspect because they are getting that echo that okay, all Europe has accepted it and they are getting they are improving their level. But for Premier League, it it went other way around. Yeah.
Right.
It's all good.
I think we've had our fair share of referees siding our sides. So some years of not being favored, I think we have to accept that we are not in the best
नहीं
position
No,
right
Abhijit
now
it's
to
भाई
dominate the
नहीं
referees.
नहीं, not being outside is one thing and just making horrible decisions is one thing. Yeah,
Yes,
you have to take out the horrible
agreed.
decisions. 50-50 you can say yes, maybe the
Yeah,
referee is not on the side, but those are
yeah,
simple penalties like the Weghorst one in the game. I don't remember which game. Delvin will help me. Weghorst interfered in one of the games. It was a clear penalty. Red card was the issue which could have been handled better. Lot of things you just accumulate along with the season, and you see that we are being robbed every other game. This is not acceptable. It is acceptable once in 10 games and 12 games we are just getting messed up with the referees, but every second game there is a referee controversy. That is not good for the game.
we've
But
had five we've had five straight games where decisions have gone against us. Reading Andy Carroll. Then we've had Crystal Palace the penalty. We've had Crystal Palace the red card. We've had Nottingham Forest the Weghorst incident, and then we've had, I think, even the Crystal Palace the Martinez elbow also, along with the McTominay penalty. So there were two incidents
Newcastle.
in Newcastle was very long. I'm talking about this stretch of five straight games where decisions have gone against us. So it's
Abhijit
not
bhai,
even.
I hope you're not saying about the future. Abhijit bhai, not about the future, right? Past
No,
only.
no. Past only,
No,
past
no,
only.
no.
So we are 20 minutes away from the lineups being announced, guys. 20 minutes away before the official lineups come out. Abhishar bhai, I'm going to talk to you about this. So Ten Hag has specified where McTominay, Anthony, and surprise, surprise, Anthony Martial is not going to play in the game against Leeds. Well, I don't even consider Anthony Martial in the discussions as of now because he's been perennially injured. Like I literally said the other day that this man will find ways to get injured if you have tied him in bubble wrap and put him in his bedroom and locked the door. That's how frequently the guy gets injured. So I've just left him out entirely, and at this point, nothing can change my mind about the fact that he has to go in the summer. But with Anthony out, all right, with Anthony out, do you think that this is the ideal game to get Sancho the full 90? Because considering the fact that I don't see there is going to be anyone who's going to be replacing him on the right side. I see Garnacho coming in on the left if he has to, but I don't see anyone coming on the right to replace Sancho. So it seems, for all intents and purposes, that Sancho, if he starts, will get the full 90. Do you think the game against Leeds is the perfect way to ingratiate him, considering the fact that the games now will be higher in magnitude and will be coming in thick and fast at the same time? We have Leeds away, and then we have the big tie against Barca, where we will want all our players to be at the top of their games. Over there, 90% will not do, 80% will not do. It has to be 100%. So do you think that Sancho getting the full 90 in this game is the perfect game basically in Old Trafford against a team who seems to be down and out? Or do you think that this is the perfect way to go ahead, enjoy yourself, do what you want to do? If it's fine if you make mistakes as long as you get up to speed with the way that we are playing.
I think he'll be starting. For me, I see him starting. For 90 minutes, I don't see him playing right away 90 minutes. I believe he'd be playing 70, 75 minutes, maybe Pelistri coming, depending upon, how we are commanding the game. Okay, if it will be like critical, then or if how, if we would be chasing some goal and ETH seeing that okay, Sancho is not adding much value, after 60 odd minutes he could be having him withdrawn. So that is one thing. For 90 minutes I'm still not pretty much sure on Sancho, because he has not played for quite some time. So it's like a couple of months time is quite big for a professional player to have that intensity in Premier League, to go ahead and have 90 minutes. For Martial, yes, I want to bring that. I don't know. I seriously wanted him to succeed at United. This guy, we can see even with this squad, having him and without him, we could see difference in our front three. What he brings to table is what we lack. But as you said, we have to move on now. It's not like in 3 or 4 matches you will play couple of it and one you will do good. That does not have something for United appetite. So a club of United's appetite should have better things from their striker.
So just to put in perspective about how much time Anthony Martial has missed this season, Sancho has been out for 2.5 months. Anthony Martial has been out for more than that throughout the course of the season.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
what.
with, and Sancho has not been injured. Sancho was out for personal reasons,
Yeah.
and yet Anthony Martial has somehow, God knows how, has missed more time than Jadon Sancho. This man is literally made of plastic. I glass, not even plastic. Plastic also stays for long. This man is literally made of glass. He has the talent, he has the skill, he has
Yeah.
all the attributes required to be a success in this system, which is what makes it so damn frustrating. Because he's performed in all the games that he's played. It's
But
not like he's had
that guy
bad
is
games.
golden boy. I believe in some World Cup he's golden boy.
He
He's
won,
at that
yeah,
level, you
He
know.
won the Golden Boy
golden
in the
ball,
Ballon
a
d'Or
golden boy
ceremony.
when he was
Golden Boy. He
first
was
season
the
with us.
promising young player.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Promising
something like
youngest
that.
player. That was Anthony
Maybe
Martial.
some.
And I think not even for United. I think it was
No, it was
when
with
he was
us.
at
With us.
Monaco.
No, but he won it when he was in United colors. He won it when he was in
Okay,
United colors.
so because he was supposed to be the what Mbappe turned out to be, and
Yeah,
that's why United signed
Precisely.
him very early on.
that he
So
has
the
played
kind of
that
fall
well.
his career has taken is very. That's why it is so hurtful because he was supposed to be the
Even
greatest player.
Eric Ten Hag is saying that it is different injuries all the time. That is also frustrating because if see there is a problem with knees, with the back, and you're consistently getting injured. But every time you are having different injuries and being out for different reasons, now is really important that the
I
player stay
think
fit.
it's I think it's more on the fact that he has not been at the highest level of fitness for a long time, and now
Yes.
this system demands a lot of fitness regime and everything, and that is why he's
Yeah,
getting injured.
I
But
This
agree.
what happens when you're getting accustomed to a new system. This
yeah,
happened with players when they were getting accustomed to the Klopp system. This happens with a high intensity system. And Anthony Martial, he is not used to the hard work. And when he's putting in the hard work in the training pitch, he is more often than not getting injured. I'd still want him to succeed. I still want him to do well, end the season well, and prove everyone wrong because I am one of those who question him. I have a friend, Wali, who often joins us on the stream as well. He's a big fan. He's a huge fan. And ever since he has bought the jersey of Anthony Martial has been injured for the longest time. So I just blame it on him. I want him to succeed. And I believe that Eric Ten Hag has what it takes to get Anthony Martial firing and going. I just hope that it's not too late because he's still young. He can still have at least
So
4 or 5 good years if
if
he stays
Eric Ten Hag
consistent, if he
believes
stays
he
fit.
has the potential, he will stay. If Eric Ten Hag believes that the player has the potential, he will stay. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's simply put on the paper. Marshall, if you're playing 5 games out of 50, you just we cannot pay 200K for that. We cannot
Yeah,
pay
especially
200.
with the wages. We can do it for a young player, we cannot do it for the wages that Anthony Martial is on. Yeah.
And also, I don't think he's young anymore. He's 27, approaching the peak years of his career. I think having such injuries, and these are not major injuries. Also, these are bloody knocks. And with a knock, he's getting out for what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Aparthesh bhai, you spoke about the rigorous training program that high intensity system needs. There was this image taken in United's preseason training where it was a picture of Anthony Martial and Alex Telles together. You could literally see Anthony Martial's life flash before his eyes with the picture, the way the picture was taken. That this guy he's literally on his last breath in that training session. Like Eric Ten Hag has literally squeezed life out of him. You could literally see him contemplating all his life decisions at that very point in time. So that is where you can understand, like, yeah, this could be a
Not
step
surprised at
far
all.
from him.
just
Yeah,
just
exactly.
for that, Eric Ten Hag, if you will see him, he has improved most, if not all, of our players. If you'll see individually, he has improved almost each player which we have seen. Like this season, we've seen their game being elevated. So with Martial, what comes in picture, that guy is already having high potential. You have to put training, you have to put grind onto him. And if that is not working out, I see him, by this year, and as in Paritosh has already mentioned, I'm also rooting for him to be successful, be it firstly at United, if not United, elsewhere in his career. So that should be fine, but he has to put, stamping authority this season, that okay, I'm doing it.
Totally
I
agree.
think he
Totally
has
agree.
some good years. I think he has some good years in him. I do think he has the potential. Uh, I just fear that his best time might come in a different team, might come somewhere else, because I think the time he has had at United, it also takes its toll because there has been a lot of changes with the managers. He told with the because he gave it his all in the season when there was lockdown, where he was the highest scorer. He played really well that season, and he was in his interview. I think at the start of the season, he was saying that me and Rashford, we were benched the next season. We were injured, and we played with and I think Harry Maguire as well. Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, and Harry Maguire. They played through injuries. They played with painkillers in them, and they were not rewarded for it, according to Anthony Martial, because when he needed his time back after he came on he came on after his injuries or whatever. He was not ruled back into the side. He was not given a straight into the starting 11 or into the squad, and he was frustrated, so that's why he didn't play. But that shows you the kind of mentality that he has had. And the kind of mentality that is not required to be a top player. To be a top player, it means that you have to be a proper professional, and I think this is the primary difference between Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial, if you look at the statistics or you look at two players side to side in the younger days, you'll see Anthony Martial has more talent. He has more raw pace. He has more skill on the ball. He has everything going for him. He has a better sight for goal. But it's just that Marcus Rashford is a workaholic. He has some good features, but he uses them so well that he is able to have this splurge in his career, because now Marcus Rashford has way more years in him than Anthony Martial. If he gets back Anthony Martial, I think he has some years left in him. I just hope that they come in a United shirt.
Fair enough. Fair. So
Ojas, what are your views on this?
yeah,
I want to hear Ojas what he thinks, because for a whole time he was shaking his head.
Nay, Avishar bhai, why I was shaking my head was that Marshall was not sent at the right place for the loan also.
Yeah,
In Sevilla.
that though I agree.
Sevilla is
They
not the
do
team
not
for
play the
Marshall.
football which Martial.
And
If you see, Martial getting successful, I best see the setup would be France. The where he could be successful with
no,
Mbappe and Griezmann, and Pogba and Kante covering for him. That would be exact ideal that is like ideal
Ab-
scenario for all
Abhishek,
the striker.
Abhishek bhai, when I saw Marshall at Monaco, there was just 3-4 games that I saw because League One never used to feature in India. 3-4 games that I saw of Marshall playing in Monaco was that the person believed in himself so much that he was ready to take on any player in the world. He was ready to take on any challenge in the world. And when I see Marshall right now, he is struggling with so much against. I don't know. He's not able to compete with the intensity with the players around him. Like he's seeing every other player getting goals, assists, and what he is challenging is for playing 90 minutes, and even that he is not able to do. So any player in the world, it happened with Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo for me, the Brazilian Ronaldo. It happened with him also. He was so injured that there are certain players in the world who just don't live up to their potential. And I don't know, I just have this feeling that Marshall will be one of the players who has this tremendous potential, but just don't see him living that.
नेवर हैव दोज नंबर्स, यू नो। वो
Hmm.
वैसे वो गेम्स नहीं मिलेंगे कि जो आपको आपको यू नो गेम प्रेडिक्ट कर सकता है। जिस बंदे के अंदर इतना टैलेंट है कि ही कैन डिसाइड गेम्स, but he would not be able to. I always feel like that, you know, he has this potential that this guy can convert games on his own, you know, getting ball into boxes and, you know, 3 4 defenders around him and still scoring, still finding a way to get assist or goals. He's of that caliber.
But Abhishek Bhai is
Okay,
27. Now the recovery of the injuries will also not be fast. Well, in early 20s, usually the recovery of injuries just happen a bit quickly than the later 20s. And
Ojas
this is the
Bhai and
problem.
Abhishar Bhai, 100 बात की एक बात, we have given 7 years for a player
Ah, yeah,
who has not
I
recovered
totally
from
agree with you.
fitness.
I would
We
not
have,
say.
every manager has, have faith and trust everything. He has done nothing. He just gets injured in every managerial eras of what Manchester United. And one thing that is we have to move on. Just move on.
we
We
have we
move
have
That's
on to
the debate.
we
we
have
will move.
invested so much time, energy, and money on top of it
which is why it
already.
hurts. Which
Yeah,
is why it hurts.
that is already. It's not like
Yeah.
that we should have or we could have. We already did everything what we could. Even fans, you know, fans are not like turning against him most of the time. Fans are having his back. If he in 5 matches
I
if he
think
have one match, it will be good.
I think when we talk about the wages, we have to question the management as well. Why is it that the young
He was
players who have just
apparently
signed,
he was Joel Glazer's favorite player or Avram Glazer's
yeah.
favorite player, which is what I have
So
heard.
you are giving young players a 150, 180K per week contracts. Why are you doing this to 20, 21-year-olds who are not Mbappe? Why would you do that to someone who is not a proven winner? This is on management as well. This is on Manchester United as well. You have raised them to be the high and mighty while they are not, and then it backfired, and how? And now you question the player, but it's not only on the player; it's on the management. It's on the whole club. The whole club has been shambles, and partly because of that, many players would also suffer. I think football is a game in which more than one individual is required. Even when one individual shines, it's more of a team game. We talk about the Messis, the Ronaldos, but they didn't do anything alone, and which is being portrayed now. Although they were in their prime, they were very good, but now they, with their powers a lot reduced, they can't do everything on their own. All started from Sanchez. Yeah, you can say we had a massive contract for Sanchez, and it didn't pay off. It didn't pay off in the least bit. And if we were smart, if the management was smart, we could have saw this coming, because in his last season, the last 6 months, I think he was with Arsenal. He was a shadow of his former self because he had suffered a very uh, a, a almost career-shattering injury with Chile in the final of the Copa America. If you remember correctly, his leg was shattered. His leg was swollen like a balloon in that particular game when they won on penalties, Chile. And he posted a photo of his feet being stomped on, and that was the injury. After that, he was never able to recover properly. We still signed him on a heavy wage, and that is on the management as well. I believe that when a player flops, it's not only on the player; it's on the whole surroundings. Why, why is it so that only one player is questioned. If a player succeeds, it's also on the team and the management. When a player falls, it's also on the team and management. It's just the start. It's just the state that when all the praise is given to you, all the negativity also comes your way.
Fair enough. So, moving on, I've got what seems to be the leaked lineup of United at this point, and most of the time, the leaked lineup often turns out to be the lineup which is the legit one. So, I'll go out and just read the lineup for you guys. So, the lineup basically is De Gea in goal. Dalo gets a start. It's Varane, Martinez, and Shaw along with Dalo. Here's where things get interesting. It's Fred, Sabitzer, who will be the two midfielders. It's Rashford, Bruno, and Garnacho. So Sancho doesn't get a start as yet. And as usual, Weghorst leading the line for us. Gentlemen, your thoughts on the lineup? Abhijit bhai, I'm going to ask you. In hindsight, it looks from all intents and purposes that Bruno is going to start from the right, as has been the case in multiple games this season, where you've seen Ten Hag experimenting with Bruno playing from the right. That's a nominal starting position, and then as the game progresses, you can see Bruno absolutely popping in everywhere and anywhere. So the nominal position is Bruno starting the right. How confident are you on this Fred and Sabitzer midfield pairing? Do you think that this is the right midfield pairing which will counter the pressing ability of, say, Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie, who I think will be sure shot starters in this game?
Okay, just give me one thought that who is playing on left side, left winger?
Left is going to be Garnacho. So, no, it's going to be
Okay.
Rashford, Garnacho, and Bruno. So now I think, from all
I
intents
think
and purposes, it's
Garnacho.
going to be switching. They're going to switch a lot.
I think
Okay.
Garnacho is going to play from the right at the start and
Yes.
Bruno from the left with
N-
Marcus
No,
Rashford
no,
just
no.
behind Wout Weghorst. I think, or no,
Maybe.
Bruno in the
No.
middle and Rashford in the left.
Rashford on the
I
left.
think
Yeah.
Rashford in the left. Yeah.
Right, right, right. I would say right.
No,
Rashford
I
on the
think
Okay.
right, Garnacho left, Bruno center, Weghorst strike.
Or it can be a
seems.
Weghorst
4-4-2
center
also.
striker. Weghorst striker. Weghorst striker right. Garnacho left. Left Rashford and cam position
Me-
Bruno.
Meko Paritosh bhai, I think that because Rashford is pretty experienced and has more credibility than Garnacho, he can accustom himself to the right side of the pitch. Whereas Garnacho is has a gameplay of just uh, taking the players
You will
on that side of the pitch, and I
we
believe
will
with
दोनों
see
विंग पे
Garnacho
खेल
playing
लेता है
Garnacho.
यार. I think Garnacho is good on the right and the left as well. I think विंग प्ले उसका दोनों साइड से
Mm,
अच्छा है.
no,
But
but
I think the
hmm,
problem here is I think we need one player for one position. I think we've had a lot of players who are fluid and can play any position, but I think with the age that Garnacho is, we should be looking for him to just pick one position and stay to it. So if we are, say, grooming him for the left wing position, might as well let him stay there itself, because then it becomes after a point it becomes a jack of trade and master of none. And we over the years have had a lot of players who have been very into that role. We've had Daley Blind, who's been the biggest example. He's one of the most multi-talented and gifted players that United have had, and we did not have an idea as to how to use him. Only because of the sole reason that he was versatile in multiple positions. That's where the jack of trade things comes into play. So I
me
don't
I
want a
think
similar.
I think for me not, that was not the reasoning. The reasoning for me of Garnacho playing from the right was that Marcus Rashford is more effective from the left, and I think United would want to play on their strengths and use Rashford at the start and get a few goals right at the start.
And you
So that was my
depending upon
thinking.
in
yeah,
that way,
depending
Yeah,
upon
Paritosh
how Weghorst and Garnacho plays, they'll
yeah,
be
it's also because how Eric Ten
some of
Hag thinks, we
the
don't really know. If he goes, from what I believe, he goes for the kill right from the very start. He'll be looking
yes.
to get goals from the right from the very start. So I think that way Marcus Rashford should start from the left, but I don't know how he should set the team up.
So actually, this lineup, as we have seen it now, but it looks like he wants to score more goals, and it's a need now because
I,
looking at the
I,
goal difference, it really matters for us because we are only
I,
I think +8 as a goal difference as a goal difference for us, and we need to cover up some goals, and we can take those opportunities. Um, but one interesting thing is that we could have rested Shaw because we know there is a couple of games coming up against Barcelona and even, and we could have tried in the Ellen Road game. And yes, if we had also tried Palestri instead of Garnacho or even for Rashford, it could have make sense because Pelistri, we could have tested him because we didn't loan him for that. But player like Pelistri, could have utilized this as an opportunity. This is just my opinion. But looking at that, what mentality Eric Ten Hag looks now, as the lineup was stated now,
All right.
it
So
looks we can score the goal more.
So the
That's it.
official lineup is come out and the lineup is the same. The only thing I'm feeling bad is that Aaron Van Bissaka didn't even make the bench. So that's pain for me in particular,
One reason
and
because didn't buy why Aaron
no,
Bissaka
you
did
give
not
me
start
what
because
you give me whatever reason, I'm going to fight you because that's my boy, that's
no
my
no
guy.
Aaron Van Bissaka has started more games. Okay, he has been very good for us for most of the games. And looking why he injected Dalot because he needed some game time for Dalot too because he has come back from injury and uh, game like Barcelona and for a cup and we need a fresh Dalot who we need him back and he's a crucial player for us as a right back. Okay, Van Bissaka can contribute it, but
Van
Dalot
Bissaka is not in the
giving us
squad.
No, he's not in the squad. He's not in
I
the
think
bench
he
as
will
it
well.
be injured then. He must be
Hmm.
Yeah,
injured
he
then.
must
You
be
cannot.
carrying
no
some
no
knock or something. Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's
so
just a
Leeds
rotation.
so Leeds lineup is Melier at goal, Luke Ayling, Pascal Stroik,
Khal,
Robin Koch, Wober, Tyler Adams, Weston McKinney, Jack Harrison, Luis Sinistera, Patrick Bamford, and Wilfred Nyonto.
No
So
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo is
Greenwood
injured.
has signed for Leeds.
That's Sam Greenwood.
I know, man.
So the Leeds team looks pretty formidable only because of from the players starting from Tyler Adams. So, like I said, Tyler Adams and Weston McKinney were going to be the preferred starting midfield, and that's exactly what has happened. So now
Uh,
The Leeds attack has a very versatile look to it. Luis Sinistera is a very tricky customer on his day. And starting from the left,
Bamford.
it's pretty sure that in a game where Dallo is just getting feel of things, he could be in for a very tough evening if things go wrong. As far as Dallo is concerned, not a lot of game time, mind you. He's not got a lot of game time under his legs. Sinistera comes on as comparatively fresher,
you
and
wish,
then
Adelvin. You
what?
wish.
I wish.
You wish,
I
Adelvin.
wish. Yes, I do. You can clearly see my Aaron prop coming out in
But
spades.
I think it's because of the fact that we already have three defenders as substitutes with Harry Maguire, Lindelof, and Malacia. I
Yeah.
think he didn't want to have another defender as a substitute. That's why he
Understandable.
has not chosen Aaron Bissaka.
But yeah, still hurts. It still hurts.
Lindelof is a backup CDM. Lindelof is a backup CDM on the bench. He's not a backup defender. Uh, and what I'm believing is Bisaka must have faced a knock or something like that. He must not be 100% fit to
We
be in the
we
squad.
want Bissaka for
I
rest of the
also believe
season.
there must be something to protect Van Bissaka rather than dropping him. I think
Yes,
it's
Yes,
I
because
think
he wants to have.
Just a rotation.
I also think.
yeah, it feels like that because like we have to keep all of our squad fresh. So does that mean that my boy Van Bissaka is going to start at the new camp? Feels like it. Looks like it.
Europa,
I don't
yeah,
mind
it
He has
could
it.
be a
won the
With
derby.
yellow
possibility.
card,
Could be a
with yellow
possibility.
card.
Yes.
It could be a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, he
Even
has
Yeah.
won the derby by
I think it is a very good
chin up.
strategy against Bamford also. Bamford, like, he very important player tonight for Bamford for
Yes,
Leeds United.
He and Nyonto
Yes.
in particular. Nyonto has been one of those few bright spots for Leeds. He's very direct. He's very good with the ball at his feet, and he's one of those players who could cause us problems. Yeah, so those are the players that I have to look for, and not forgetting Tyler Adams and Weston McKinney, two very good midfielders in their own right, and the likes of Maguire, the likes of Shaw, have first-hand experience facing them against USA in the World Cup. That what exactly they can do. So yeah, it looks like a tricky fixture. So I'm going to ask everyone. See, this has become a very routine sight for us. Seeing Sir Dr. Marcus Rashford scoring the goals for us. So, like Abhijit has put in on the chat that he's directly been involved in 15 goals in his last 12 games at Old Trafford. So, guys, I'm introducing a new segment, and that's the Marcus Rashford bingo. Where I'm going to ask everyone, what minute do you think Marcus Rashford is going to score?
But
I'm going to
which
start.
goal? Which goal? First, second, third, which
No,
goal?
no, it could be any goal. You all can just pick which minute he's going to score. Abhishar
He's
bhai,
on
I'm going to.
19. He's on
What?
19 goals, no?
No, no. In the whole
20.
season, I'm talking about goal involvements in
No,
Old
no, no,
Trafford.
no, no. I'm asking. He has scored
19
19
goals,
goals in
19
the
goals
season
this
and
season.
10 assists,
19.
no? 10 assists.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is
I'm not
it
sure
not
about the
20?
assists. No, no, it's 19 goals. It's 19 goals. I cross checked that. So it's 19 goals. I'm not sure about the assists, so just by I'll have to see. But 19 goals. He's had 15 goal involvements in 12 games at Old Trafford. That's what the stat is. So Marcus Rashford bingo, ladies and gentlemen. Abhishar bhai, I'm going to start with you. Which minute do you think Rashford is going to score?
Uh, I'll. I'm not sure about these specific minutes or anything, but maybe in between 20 to 30, I assuming. But yeah, there was one more question that has popped up in our screen, stating that what do we think about Sancho not getting the start? So before even squad has been announced, I've said that he has been out for quite some while. So starting him for 90 minutes would be difficult. But the good part of it is that Sancho can come in either for Garnacho or for Vegas if we are planning in that
Second
way. So
half.
in that case, Vegas would have that striker position. In case Vegas goes off to bench, then Sancho would take right, and Rashford would be up front with Garnacho being at left. So either way, we could see Sancho getting in maybe 65th minute, mostly 65th or 70th minute. But yeah, he was not expected to start. At least for me, it would have been some something which is yeah.
I expected Garnacho to start because he was sacrificed
Yes,
because
yes,
of the
yes,
Casemiro red card.
yes, yes.
I expected Garnacho to start because that is Eric Ten Hag's way of saying that I owe you one. And that I think Eric Ten Hag is fair in that way because Garnacho, because of the performances that he has had, he deserved full time, and he wasn't able to get. So I think it's Eric Ten Hag's way of showing, okay,
That is
you're
one of
playing
the
good now,
reasons.
start
अरे
the game.
अरे आदि भाई ऑफिस का क्या है कल नहीं है परसों है यार ठीक है इट्स फाइन नॉट
No,
अ प्रॉब्लम
in case I don't think so. Matlab, I agree with you. It must have been one of the reasons. Meko, the setup of Leeds is somehow I think we required pace on the wings, and I think best decision was to play Rashford and Garnacho together, because Vegas is not gifted with the raw pace, and it just completes the forward line. From
नहीं होते तो
that was
इन
enough.
दैट केस आप तो सांचो को भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हो ना, फिर आप वेगस को पूरा ही वो कर दो. वेगस एब्सोल्युटली किल्स आवर पेस, दैट वी नोबडी कैन आर्ग्यू ऑन टू इट, बट हिज वर्क एथिक हिज आई.
His goal poacher ना उसका
हाँ,
काम अलग है. His not his
हाँ, वही चीज मैं बोल रहा
work
हूँ.
is
तो
not to
स्पीड
get you
के
the
लिए आप
wing
वो कर
play.
रहे हो तो यू कैन हैव मे बी
नहीं,
राशफोर्ड एट.
Abhishek bhai,
Role different
Sancho
है.
would have been a technical player, na? You see, technical player is always an asset, but right now, what Eric Ten Hag would have thought, one of the things is Sancho was not regular for a couple of
या
months, and what Garnacho and Rashford bring together, along with complementing with the poacher abilities of Vegas, and the maturity and the confidence of Bruno, it just completes a forward line and Sabitzer and Fred to do the dirty work. This is a very
I
good
see
setup from
Fred
mid
getting
to
into
attack.
box. I see Fred getting into box. I do
yes
not
because
see him
I
playing
नहीं
see
हाँ
because
फ्रेड
Fred
को
I
getting
feel
इंडिपेंडेंस मिलेगा
into
अब.
box like
because
anything.
Sabitzer will be given the responsibility to sit back, do the dirty work
फ्रेड को
entirely.
फाइनली बोलेंगे तू खेल ले नंबर 8. फ्रेड को बोलेगा
Uh,
Sabitzer,
तू खेल आगे
आ-
बढ़ के.
आज people will see why Sabitzer was a last minute signing, because he's a player that can really change game on its own. This is the kind of
But
player
it
in the
is good
midfield we
thing.
required.
I'm seriously excited
फ्लेक्सिबल भी है
watching.
पोजिशनल प्ले में. Sabitzer is very
Well,
flexible in his positional play as well.
And
वो
He's
another
right
एक
thing
footed.
is,
CM
for
से CDM.
He's right footed.
another he's both foot. He plays with both foot. He's
Okay.
ambipedal. And another big factor and a big thing that he gives us is that he just keeps running and running and running and running, and then and he keeps running even more. So that
Even
is,
every
yes,
player ETH is seeing, he is seeing work ethic.
just
He's
just
यार
cycling.
वो तो
one.
फ्रेड भी करता है.
हाँ.
वो तो फ्रेड
नहीं,
भी करता है. रनिंग तो बहुत करता है
हाँ,
फ्रेड भी.
so
लेकिन खाली
against
रनिंग से नहीं होता ना.
against a team like Leeds, khali running is just what you require. Against a team like
हाँ,
Leeds,
उसके लिए
in the
डैन जेम्स था हमारे पास ना. डैन
नहीं,
जेम्स भेज
वो
दिया
तो
फिर.
आप
तो
सी
एंथनी भी तो
पारितोष
आपका
भाई,
वही है. डैन जेम्स है, लेफ्ट फुटेड डैन जेम्स है. एंथनी भी तो. एंथनी हैज
Paritosh
सेम
bhai,
वर्क ethic. You
with
cannot
with
argue
full,
on to that.
full respect to Leeds United, McKennie and Tyler Adams are not the midfield. With full respect, they're not the midfield that required Casemiro against them. To be honest, the Sabitzer Fred midfield
विद
is
जीरो
enough for that
रिस्पेक्ट.
midfield.
विद जीरो रिस्पेक्ट बोलो. विद जीरो
नहीं,
रिस्पेक्ट. जब खींच रहे हो तो ढंग से खींचो ना. Then why are you giving respect then?
मेरे को बिल्कुल भी बाइट नहीं लग रही उस मिडफील्ड में. टाइलर एडम्स और ये मैकेनिक के मेरे को बिल्कुल भी बाइट नहीं लग रही इस
अभी
मिडफील्ड में.
फुटबॉल को सॉकर बोलेंगे तो
अब
क्या ही बाइट मिलेगा.
तो अब that's why I said I'm not very fearful. क्योंकि एक ऑरा होता है ना टीम का. बाउंस में भी यू फील. जैसे आर्सेनल एवर्टन वाला गेम एवरीबॉडी फेल्ट कि एवर्टन कुड डू समथिंग है. हाँ. अब लीड्स के साथ वो फीलिंग ही नहीं आ रहा है बिकॉज लीड्स ऐसा रिस्ट्रिक्टिव लग रहा है. दे आर नॉट क्रिएटिव.
Not
अब वो वन ऑफ हो
Arsenal.
गया
It was
तो
dice.
अलग चीज है.
Not
अब अगर हम आर्सेनल को डोमिनेट कर सकते हैं 45 मिनट्स तो अब आई एम नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग लीड्स टू कम टू ओटी एंड डांस अराउंड. हाँ एक आध लकी गोल मिल गया तो अलग चीज है. बट आई डोंट बिलीव दैट लीड्स आर गोइंग टू प्ले
All right,
आउट ऑफ देयर स्किन अगेंस्ट
gentlemen,
अस
we
एट
are
ओटी.
going away from the topic. Please do
Yeah,
give respect
Rashford.
to the Marcus Rashford bingo, and please answer
20 to
that
30.
before.
I'm still
Yes,
in between 20 to 30,
yeah.
somewhere 23rd or 27th today.
Okay, Abhijit bhai, your thoughts on the Rashford bingo? Which minute does Marcus Rashford score?
7th minute, 13th minute, and 22.
Oh, hat trick! Works for
Yes,
me. Works for me. I am Marcus Rashford as my triple captain. Works
definitely.
for me. I don't mind this at all. I don't mind this at all. Paritosh bhai, your predictions for Marcus Rashford bingo.
I think a little later on. I think 51st minute. I think
Second
second
half.
half के start.
Second half. Okay. Ojas bhai, what about you?
30 to 40 for me. 30 to 40. Rashford is going to score a goal in the first half.
I think he's going to score twice in the first half. I don't think he's going to score a hat trick, but 2 goals or 3, I don't mind as long as he gives points. I desperately need him to perform as far as my triple captainship is concerned. We've spoken about the side. We've spoken about both the sides, how they're going to approach this game. We've spoken about the key players in the lead setup as well, and we've spoken about the boys of our on our end as well. With that being said, what are your score predictions for this game? And do you think that we will be victims of shit officiating once again? Yes or no for the second question, and then you all can put in your predictions for the score. Just by I'm going to start with you. We'll go the other way this time. 2 questions, your final score prediction, and do you think shit refereeing against us at Old Trafford?
Yeah, I think shit refereeing is part of United now. It's a very good part of Manchester
Football
United
heritage.
football heritage, and this is football heritage for me. See, scoreline is pretty simple for me. It's a 4-0 or 3-0 or 4-0 win for United. Just don't see the bite in the Leeds team to affect us. I will be only surprised would be Bamford for me if he somehow gets on the score sheet. And you were mentioning Sinister. He can be a pretty tough customer. Overall, in the overall sense, United are just too good for Leeds today, and I feel it will be a 3-0, 4-0 win.
Adibhai, I genuinely think that today could be the day where Weghorst will get his first Premier League goal. He was very close to getting it against Crystal Palace, if not for that Guaita save in the first half. But yeah, I think against Leeds, I am very very certain that he will be in the score sheet for me. That's what I feel. Paritosh bhai, what is your predictions for the scoreline this season? This game, I'm sorry. So Ojas has already said that United will keep a clean sheet against Leeds. What do you think? is your scoreline for this
I
game?
think I also think that a clean sheet is on its way. I don't see Leeds getting too familiar with us, especially with the defense that we have. The only thing I'm worried about a little bit is Delo coming back. Delo has not been consistent, so there can be a leak from the right. But I still believe I'll believe in the team and say that this is going to be a clean sheet. For me, shit refereeing, controversial decisions rather, that could be a part of it. But I still believe it's going to be a comfortable win. I'd also say I would have said a 3-0 or 4-0, but now I'll be more optimistic. I'll say 5-0 because
You
he has
you
already said 3 or 4.
you want to dent them for Sunday also, because it will be a very important game on Sunday also, going away to the Leeds. It's a
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
so
So
I would have said
in
3-0 or 4-0, but he's already said Ojas has already said it.
So
So I'll say 5-0.
in the 4 games that we've played them, we've scored 6, we've scored 5, and we've scored 4, and one was a goalless draw. So yeah, we've scored 15 goals in 4 games against Leeds.
There was
So
goalless draw as well. Was it at
yes,
Ralph time?
no, it was during Ole's time in the 19 in the 2021 season only, where we had a goalless draw
ये
at
राल
Ellen
फिटर
Road.
है क्या?
At
अभिसार
Ellen
भाई
Road.
राल फिटर है क्या?
नहीं,
हैं?
नहीं.
राल
No,
फिटर.
no, no. It was not like that. He was needed, for the journey where we are heading into. We need something as
बात ये नहीं है, बात that team was not ready for Ragnar. बात नहीं है
yeah.
बस.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Yeah. Abhijit bhai, your predictions for the game, your final score, and
I would say 4-0 or 5-0. I am confused between them. I would say 5-0. I would be too optimistic with what
He is
Paritosh
playing
Bhai said.
KBC. He is so critical about 4-0 or 5-0.
I
And
can't, but I would say Rashford scoring today hat trick. I'm
I
feel
don't
too
mind
confident.
if he scores a hat
And
trick, I will be the most happiest person on this panel. I will genuinely be the most happiest person on this panel.
next time you guys
and
meet, then Devil is supposed to give you a party if Rashford scores a hat trick today.
Sure, why
and
not? If I win the FPL tournament, then obviously yes, absolutely.
you asked the second question, and that is for no, and the answer is no.
No controversial, no shit refereeing. That's
No,
interesting. I mean, for once it would be a glad change. It would be an absolute surprise. But yeah, all the talk of being 4-0 final. Imagine we winning 1-0. It would be
that will
so
not
us.
happen.
It would be peak us though. We
and
will have a
and
clean
and
sheet.
Fred is
M- m-
the one who scores the winner.
my
Yeah,
predictions have been
yeah.
pretty good
Paritosh bhai,
for
that's not
5 to 6
happening.
games.
That's not
Five to
happening.
six games.
That's
Leeds,
not.
My
last thing
my
that Leeds
predictions
want to
have
do is
been
take
good.
a lead at Old Trafford. That then you're creating a hole for yourself only. I've seen that with Leeds. Whenever a mediocre team comes and score the first goal, they concede three or four in the total game.
yes, that's what my
My predictions
prediction
have
was.
been good for a while.
I'm expecting
So
4-1. Yeah,
yeah.
Delvin. So I'm
All
expecting
right.
4-1. And for the refereeing, you're saying I want that. Okay, this match is okay. We can have that bad luck, maybe because it's because for this game we are good enough, so maybe we can take bad luck this game so that we can take our share of good luck in coming games. Though
Fair
i,
enough.
I
Fair.
see that some decisions.
Delvin wouldn't like Rashford getting ripped off from a goal because
Oh,
of late.
Yeah, absolutely. No. He's already
ट्रिपल
been
कैप्टन कर दिया भाई, ट्रिपल कैप्टन
he's
कर दिया. He
oh,
wants a
he,
goal.
it's very good.
he's already been stripped off of 3 goals this season.
Yeah,
So
Yes.
how much more would you want to strip
and
from
that
him?
record goal, yeah, that was supposed to be, but it was
Yes,
out.
exactly. So he's already been stripped of so many goals. I don't want him to get stripped with this. And all 3 were perfectly legit goals, if I'm being very honest, also. So with that, we've covered everything there virtually is to cover about the game. Habibis from Qatar, hope you're watching this game with a lot of interest. We are only the rain group is only a call away. If we do end up winning this game with the predictions that our panelists have done, so you can just drop in a phone call and we'll be ready. We'll be ready with your clothes. I was actually going to sit in this stream with an Arab headgear, but for some reason I did not get it. But yeah, very exciting times, very exciting game. Like I said earlier in the stream, this game is not just a football match. It's a clash of ideologies, it's a clash of philosophies, and it's a clash of two proud cities who want to still at this point in this generation want to lord their supremacy over each other. The rivalry is not dead. The rivalry is very much alive. United will be looking to assert their dominance and continue lording over the Whites, whereas the Whites would desperately want to get out of the Reds' shadow for once. Who will come out and trumps is anyone's guess, but for now, all we can do is just sit back and enjoy the game and hope that United are the one who come out trumps in this game. With that being said, thank you to all Ojas Bhai, Parthush Bhai, Abhijit Bhai, and Abhishar Bhai for joining me into the stream. Fun talking about the game, fun talking about all the various aspects of this game. Thank you to everyone in the stream for putting in your thoughts, your opinions. Adi Bhai, do you think Rashford should start taking penalties? No, not really. Bruno has been taking penalties and has been one of the best penalty takers in the Premier
Had it
League.
not been Haaland, I would have suggested, we chasing for Golden Boot. Maybe I would have given a shout for Rashford. But as we
Yeah,
know already that Haaland, we could
But
work for Silver Boot. Maybe
this
then we can.
comes
yeah. So I think Bruno. I think why fix something that is not broken? That's the end. That's the end all. Bruno has been taking penalties very well. He's been one of the best penalty takers in the league. So I don't see any reason why we change that. Uh, so yeah, thank you all. Thank you so much for your thoughts, your opinions. Thank you for making this interactive. It's always been a pleasure. We are closing in on 1,400 subscribers, guys. Do make sure that we reach the milestone and keep on growing. Uh, it is because of you guys that we are here, and we want to continue rolling out content on a regular basis to make sure that you are involved as much as possible. So do like, do share, do subscribe, and make sure that this video goes across to as many United fans across the globe who can watch us and be a part of this discussion. Make it more interactive, make it more informative as well. Do follow us on our socials. We are active on Instagram, we are active on Twitter. You can give us a follow back there. I say this on every stream. Tonight is no different. Every day is match day on our official WhatsApp group. We all are active there in varying capacities. So we would love you all to join us and be a part of our ever growing fan family. Apart from that, we also have a website where you can go in and immerse yourself in the ultimate fan experience. We have a lot of cool stuff to check out. There is predictions which I've done here. There are quiz competitions for all the nerds out there, and there is the FPL tournament, which currently I am second in, and that is the reason why I'm hoping Rashford is among the goals and assists tonight. So this is all it is there. So please do join in. Please be a part of our ever-growing family. We would love to have you on board. And with that being said, this is Delvin wishing each one of y'all goodbye. Do take care of yourselves and hope to see y'all tomorrow with a smile on our faces, celebrating a United win. Till then, it's goodbye. Take care and see you soon.
Glory, glory.